Well, I think everybody knows by now that I believe it's tomorrow, Donald Trump will deliver a State of the Union address. And I've heard all kinds of speculation from journalists and reporters and authors as to what this speech will be about, more speculating on what they think it should be about, what they'd like to hear themselves from it. But we're going to go to one of our own resident experts. Kerry Leon Jackson is a show host here at 9:10 a.m. He is a self-proclaimed black conservative and a Republican, I believe. Yeah, I think he's a Republican, too. Kerry Leon Jackson, always good to talk to you. How you doing today?
Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
Thank you. Good. By the way, I have to tell you, people that I know listen to the station. They listen to you. They listen to Wayne Bradley, and they say you're the black conservative they like. Wayne makes them mad, but you're an affable, likable guy for some reason.
Cliff, those same people call the station, and I have to tell them on a regular basis, Wayne is, if you actually got to know him, somebody that you would like and, in fact, love. But you got to understand that Wayne's position, Wayne is a young brother that could be, and I represented tens of thousands of young brothers who made wrong life choices and were not responsible. And Wayne is probably one of the most responsible young African-American males who is going to do what he is required to do by his employer. And his employer specifically says,
yes,
these are the areas we want you to cover. And he's got several children that he has to take care of every day. And he's very responsible about it. And so even though, and the thing is, when you understand that, you can look at Wayne and understand why his job is to push the party each and every single day. Now, I'm I'll tell folks also, because you said you're not sure that Kerry's a Republican. I joined the Republican Party back in the Michigan Republicans when they hired me back in the summer of 1985. And I've been a actual paying member of the party ever since.
Right.
And the truth is, I understand, like everybody else, there have been ups and downs in this party.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times when the moderates were in control. There have been times when the conservatives are in control. And the unfortunate thing is right now, and it's Donald Trump, as you just said, Donald Trump took advantage of not just the fact that there was a lot of racism in the world, but he took advantage of the fact that there was a lot in our party, particularly, and I've said this over and over again, that our party basically sold themselves to the devil,
mm-hmm,
and made a deal with the devil, and they said that we would rather have political power than worry about things such as, morals and ethics, the stuff that we always do.
So wait, let me jump in here, because I understand that, and let me back up a little bit too, because I've had Wayne Bradley here in the studio. I've talked to him. And personally, I like the brother a lot. He's a brother who grew up in Northwest Detroit, went to Mulford High School. So we grew up, in the same neighborhood. But this is the question I have for you and him. When the Republican Party uses race and a Southern strategy to try to whip up the electorate and to get votes and to touch a nerve with some of their supporters, to me, that takes it outside the realm of politics. That is almost a moral issue. And I question how anybody, black or white, but especially black, can be continuously supportive of a party that will use race, which translates into me the dehumanizing of people with dark skin in order to get political gain.
And Cliff, you and I have had this talk before on air, but the thing is, both parties are just as guilty of what you just said.
Well, true, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'll talk about the Democrats, too. As a matter of fact, I think Hillary Clinton ran one of the most racist campaigns I've ever seen in Michigan. That's one of the reasons she lost.
She learned it from her husband.
Okay, but we're not talking about Hillary or Bill or the Democrats right now. We're talking to Kerry Leon Jackson, who is a Republican. And the question is, how can a black man be supportive of a Donald Trump, given, I'm not even going to deal with the lies and the other things, but given what he has done in terms of race?
Oh, let me correct it then before we go further. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter.
Okay.
Donald Trump supporters out there.
Okay.
Because we find it simple. Kerry Leon Jackson is not a Donald Trump supporter.
All right.
That means the people in the party, calling and texting me saying, I guess you're leaving it. Whether you switch it and become a Democrat. And I corrected and said, I'm not leaving the party. I'm just going to make you act right. I'm going to teach the people in the party.
Right.
You got to take it, you for years have paid all of this lip service to, we're going to do outreach and we're going to try and bring more blacks to the party. But as long as if this has become the party of Donald Trump and Roy Moore, we are never going to reach out to any blacks and the few blacks that we have in the party and leave it.
But this is not egregious enough for you to leave the party yourself. You're saying you'd rather stay in it and try to fix it internally.
And I'd rather get rid of the, as Jay-Z called them over the weekend, the superbug. I'd rather get rid of the infestation.
Yes.
And try to build on what's left in the party. The people that have the same beliefs for, put money in there. What you want to hear from the State of the Union, let me just say, I hope and pray. And Donald Trump can stay on message and follow the teleprompter when he's in a room full of white people that he respects. I don't know if you were there when he came to town and he did the speech in front of the Economic Club.
No.
He did not veer off message not one time. He stayed to the script. And the thing is, I know that you know this as a former speechwriter. The concern is that we can put together a good platform, put together a very good speech. He can go out, tomorrow night from, it's either 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, whatever time it starts. He can give the speech. Theoretically, it's supposed to be an hour. Hopefully, he can keep it within an hour. Bill Clinton quite often would run over to that. And everybody's run over it at one time or another.
Right.
I believe, if I've heard it correct, that the rebuttal is going to be given by Auntie Maxine Waters.
Oh, really?
Which apparently is going to be all anti-Trump. And, you and I both know that it's not going to stick to policy. We need to hear policy. I want to hear the stuff that everybody has put out, that he's going to concentrate on infrastructure, and he's going to, try and take a victory lap for the tax changes that have occurred, and we explain how this is going to affect our country, and that, eventually these things, once again, we're hoping that these things trickle down and that businesses eventually start to hire. Businesses will pay their people more money. Cliff, all of your listeners that understand economics understand that businesses, when they get more profit, they can't just keep it in their coffers. They've got to do something with it. And that's
I don't know about that. They might buy themselves more yachts and Bentleys, but I don't know if they're going to increase wages amongst the employees.
Every business owner I know looks at what is going to be the taxable impact of the decision that I make. And if they, it could be unfortunate this year. I'm not going to say unfortunate. The great thing about our current tax policy is if you keep all that money sitting in your coffers somewhere, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Let me back up a little bit, Kerry. Let me back up a little. By the way, folks, our special guest, Kerry Leon Jackson, he is a conservative black talk show host here at 9:10 a.m. And we're talking to him now, but the original idea was to talk about the upcoming State of the Union, but he got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk to him about it. Let me back up a little bit, because you said when he was at the Detroit Economic Club, he was able to stay on message. And to me, now that we know Donald Trump unplugged and unfettered, it's scary to me when he stays on message, because I know his heart is probably somewhere even to the right of what he's saying from that teleprompter.
Right. And that's why I meant to say, there should be a very, very, very good speech given tomorrow night at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's all I would get. He's going to tweet something so awful stupid, and it is going to make the delivery of a well-meaning State of the Union address just disappear. It's going to make the fact that everybody wants to concentrate on policy, on infrastructure improvements, on bringing jobs back, on what they call it, a strong, safe, proud America. Those are the things that we want them to concentrate on. But, it can, quickly that message can vanish if he decides, A, I'm not going to read the teleprompter, I'm going to say the things that I want to say. Or if after he finished reading that message, he decides to go off and starts tweeting something totally different.
Right.
But I mean, the State of the Union itself is meant for him to, it gives him an opportunity to take a victory lap. If he's had victories in the last year, and I mean, the entire country has a brand new tax system.
There is a new. Are you still with me, Kerry? Oh, did we lose Kerry Leon Jackson? Is he still with us? Okay. Did you push your mute button, Kerry, or did we lose your call? All right, we're going to try to reestablish contact with Kerry Leon Jackson. What I was going to say to him, and Kerry, I hope that you can still hear me too, is that I expect him to try to take a victory lap. I expect him to try to take credit for as many things as he possibly can. But I would also like to hear him talk about Russia and collusion and obstruction of justice. I think those issues are as much on the public conscience as anything else. And frankly, I think they are equally important. I think the American people need to know for certain whether or not their sitting president colluded with a sworn enemy of the United States to influence an election and then try to cover it up. 313-778-7600. Get it right, Clint. 313-778-7600. That is the number. And we got Kerry Leon Jackson back with me. Are you with me, Kerry?
I'm with you.
Okay. I don't know if you heard me.
Make sure that my face doesn't touch my phone and it won't cut me off.
Hey, I would like to hear him say something about collusion and obstruction of justice. That weighs is heavy. I don't expect it, but would you like to hear something like that? I mean, would you like to hear him definitively try to put this to rest?
Nope. I want him to leave it alone.
Why? Why would you want him to leave that alone when it's such a prominent issue within the American discourse right now?
Because he's going to say something incriminating that's going to be used against him later in the court of law.
But if he didn't do anything wrong, how can that happen?
In his mind, if he didn't do anything wrong, but the unfortunate truth is, Cliff, I for 20 years represented people that tell me that they never done anything wrong. Later on, find out they actually did something wrong.
Right.
So the easiest, the wisest course of action would be shut up and stay out of that area.
Interesting.
And that's what I would advise him is don't even address it. Don't address that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't address Stormy Daniels. There's no reason to talk about it. If he did it, if he didn't do it, whatever. If we can keep him on message, he also won't talk about, any of that other stuff, the grabbing women by the female parts and anything else. He should not talk about the size of his hands and any other body parts.
And my button's bigger than your button?
Right. He should hopefully stick to policy. And if there's any mention at all about North Korea, it simply needs to be that North Korea and Iran are threats, and we've got to deal with it, so we need a bigger, stronger military. That's it. I'm hoping, and I'm telling you, Cliff, I'll be watching it, holding my breath, praying that he sticks on message and only talks about policy. I'm just scared that it won't happen.
Now, we know who Donald Trump is now, Kerry, and the truth is the light. Wouldn't you prefer that he be Donald Trump and you find out what's really on his mind as opposed to him sticking to message, which we know now is fake? It's not even the real Donald Trump.
But, Cliff, you just said the history of our country is based on racism.
Yes.
We got to, there's a point when we accept the fact that there's been racism, there will be racism, and we're going to have to deal with it. But at the same time, Cliff, you got to govern. At some point in time, you got to start to look out for the people. You got to start to concentrate on what actually affects the lives of Americans. And you got to get off of all of the dumb stuff, all of the I might make you look over here. His